I went to college just like your son did. The question is, when when y'all started sending us on them boats, because I realize now, I'm seeing it now. It's 2026, and how you all don't see all brown people as the same. I see now your ability to kick out Africans. That's how you put us on boats and sent us away. That's why you never came for us. All those years ago, you sent us away, and I couldn't believe it. I didn't believe that that was the history. I couldn't believe that Africans sold their own brown brothers. Yeah, from another mother, even if it was from and when the news got back that maybe it wasn't good, you continued to do it, and I see how. I see why you didn't come and get us. And because you didn't come and get us, please stop saying that we the same. We had no choice. We found a way to be okay in America. Please let us be Americans now. Learn us. And then respect us with watching your words. Are you starting to wonder if maybe it's true? Maybe it's true that you were lied to. Maybe Grandpa told a story that was really sad, but it was only one moment. It wasn't all of them. And what if Grandpa forgot to tell you about all the wonderful moments, all the wonderful times that we helped each other, even loved each other? There was a very terrible phrase called nigger lover, and it was a term that was embarrassing. When you see other immigrants come from outside of the U.S. coming here, we know that they are coming here for a better life that has already been prepared to make it easy for them to have a better life, and we are proud of that. It's just important for you to understand that there is no free ride for anyone. And I am an American who is Black. And that means a lot. That means that my grandmother, my father, my grandfather fought in wars, helped to build communities and neighborhoods, nursed your family members, your very ancestors, was cared for by mine. If it weren't for us working together, we would not have this wonderful place. It is that working together that makes America great. And we have forgotten. We have forgotten that. Because the truth is, a long time ago, they realized that Africa was big. Africa was bigger than they thought. Africa is scary big. And if those brown African people get out of that place, it would be easy for Black to take over. And for the few who dared to take us, for the few who dared to spread us faster than what we were planning to do, we proved you right and we proved you wrong. Do you know how long ago you started lying? They started lying about the black man, the black skin, the African, the Congo. Do they? Do you know how far back the lies began? The lies began a long time ago. And what's sad is I think every single nation knows that they are lies, but they continue to keep up with the lie. It's easy to be scared of the black man, but you're not scared of the white man who has historically wiped out more people next to, we know the history, don't we? But you don't grab your bag in fear when you see a white man. That is the issue. That is what we're going to talk about today. The next episode is going to be a little bit more juicy. The next episode, we're going to talk about sex, boys and girls growing into women and men in the different cultures, and what to do if you do want to integrate happily. But today, we're going to talk about the lies and how to be happy in America, how to sift through all of the lies, and come up with our own bright new future. We've done it before, and it's time to take the steps to do it again now. And maybe this time we won't forget so that we don't repeat. All right. So, what are the lies I'm talking about? We happen to be in 2026 now, and there is this wonderful research engine. One of them is named Google. There are many out there. Take your pick and simply ask a question. How about we ask, when did the lies start about the African and the African's characteristics and character begin? And you will probably hear a lot of different numbers, but we're going to take it all the way back, long, 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 long back. We're not going to go back to the British and the medical societies and how they did experiments. We're going to go further back. We're going to go back to China. We're going to go further back. We're going to go further back. We can go to the Bible times. We can go back. But what we do know, pick any date in the past you wish. What you will find is these different cultures and groups of people, they found a way to live together. Whether you were in what is now known as South America, there were many different cultures that lived and coexisted. In the North Americas, the Central. What I find interesting is when you look at the ugly history, the groups of people that needed to prove and conquer, they needed to develop, they needed to force their ideas. In order to force their ideas, many times it came with blood. And they forced themselves because where they lived, they were miserable. Sorry, but I think somewhere in there you hold on to that misery. Even though you are many, many, many centuries and generations later, whole new location, and you still want to hold on to some misery. Okay. You definitely want to make sure that the person who is brown in color, you want to make sure you remind them that they should be miserable. And maybe that's because we know that misery loves company. And so if you're miserable, then why isn't everybody else miserable? If I have to work and build and struggle, why are you smiling? Okay. Well, again, let's go back. So, if you were from the Upper European areas, um, the Dutch, the Vikings, the Irish, the Scottish, we know your history and you guys were fighting. And just because you changed your name, because let's call it out, no, we're still niggas, but y'all used to be called some ugly names. But you no longer have those ugly names, do you? For the Scottish and the Irish, what did they used to call you? Well, when you moved around, you turned into the whatever name of the area you conquered or whom conquered you. So when you moved down to France, you were the Normans. Now you're French. And the Romans, right? Weren't you Italians and Greek, mostly that area? Okay, I am generalizing, but generally, yes. Okay, but now you're over here in America, and so you're no longer those names. Remember Persia? Remember the Moors? No. You don't know, remember the Berbers? See, and this is very important for the next generation. And I need the next generation. I'm specifically speaking to those of color who are in developing nations. It's important for you to learn the history of where you're going and be careful of what you're saying because you are insulting and maybe that's what you're used to where you're at. Maybe they over there where you're at, they talk about other nations because everybody else is supposed to be stupid but y'all, right? And so everybody else is stupid, but you're talking about other nations and in that country they have great benefits just like here. And so now you've come here and you're no longer Greeks and nasty Romans or violent Romans or violent Vikings. You're no longer what those whatever they called you, Protestants and Irish and all of that. Remember all of those words they used to call you guys? Hmm? Okay. Well, the Chinese had names too. What did we used to call the Chinese? What did we used to call? So when you came over here, for some reason you all got to drop those names. You all got to forget those names. You all got to become white. And then when you're talking to your children don't understand why am I brown? And when I get in the sun and I tan, but I'm not brown like them. How am I brown, but I'm not brown like them? And why are their brown different than my brown? Yet try and tell it to your children. Because you are running away from who you really are. And that is why you're miserable. You have forgotten your wonderful native music. Because coming to America, you thought that somehow you had to be different or better or isolate yourself, when that's exactly the opposite of what you had to do. We tolerated each other. We even loved each other. Walking through communities, my communities, I heard Puerto Rican music, I heard Irish music, I heard R&B music, black music. We heard classical music walking through the same neighborhood. We were proud. And it was okay because we went to war together. That Puerto Rican was in the war with my grandpa. They have the same war stories. They shared food together. They shared crisis together, tragedy together. And then when the neighbor's child fell in love, they fell in love with each other. We didn't get upset. We understood because we knew that they were good people. And somehow we moved out of that community and we got our next community got a little quieter and we didn't play our music so much, did we? And somehow we pulled away from who we are and we're putting on this other skin that isn't fitting nicely because the one we already have is just fine. They're lying to you that Africans all steal. You know your brother Jim Bob. You know he has been in jail how many times for stealing? How you gonna sit up there and say that only they steal? We gotta stop this. We're gonna stop talking crap about each other, period. And I'm gonna say this one about my fellow Africans. My fellow Africans, we are not the same. And you let us know it every time anybody non-African comes to Africa. I married into an African family and you let me know I am so different. I've given you children and you're letting them know that somewhere they are so different. But the funny thing is you come over here. Yes? You come over here to educate and enlighten yourself. But somehow something is wrong with me. I don't know what happened. And I swear I'm just like you. I was raised under great culture with the father married to my mother in the house. My family has issues, but no, I'm not a crackhead. I went to college just like your son did. The question is, when when y'all started sending us on them boats, because I realize now, I'm seeing it now. It's 2026, and how you all don't see all brown people as the same. I see now your ability to kick out Africans. That's how you put us on boats and sent us away. That's why you never came for us. All those years ago, you sent us away, and I couldn't believe it. I didn't believe that that was the history. I couldn't believe that Africans sold their own brown brothers. Yeah, from another mother, even if it was from and when the news got back that maybe it wasn't good, you continued to do it, and I see how. I see why you didn't come and get us. And because you didn't come and get us, please stop saying that we the same. We had no choice. We found a way to be okay in America. Please let us be Americans now. Learn us. And then respect us with watching your words.